Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Buzzard's Roost. This is their Cigar Rye Straight Rye Whiskey, coming in at a 52.5% ABV, at least 3 years old. So, if you've ever gotten the chance to, I highly recommend visiting Buzzard's Roost down on Whiskey Row in Kentucky. Really cool place, beautiful, nice people, and awesome drinks. And I've actually been picking up a lot of their rye whiskeys. As much as I like their bourbons, I'm really digging what they can do with rye. Now, Buzzard's Roost is a place that sources from MGP. They tell us on the back it's distilled in Indiana. And last year's batch 2, was the 95.5 rye, 5% malted barley. So I'm going to assume they're sticking with that as well, because that tends to be where they're at with their finishing. Now, why they call this a cigar rye is a little different than what I've seen. Usually when we see the word cigar rye, they're putting in a lot of sweeter barrels to make it match a cigar smoking experience. So you get the sweet with your tobacco. Here, they're actually taking a barrel and they're smoking it with Kentucky tobacco. And a kind of a similar process to what they did with their peated barrel. So they actually took peat, smoked their barrel before putting the whiskey in it to finish it. And I'm excited to see what tobacco smoked barrels can do to MGP's 95.5 rye. So let's get into things. As always, we're going to be trying it 2 different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll adjust a drop of water, see if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a member if you want, and just hang around for a bit. If you're interested in some of the other reviews of Buzzard's Roost that I've been doing, they'll be linked up above and down below, so you can check them out after this video. But they've been doing a great job. A lot of times they do a lot of rebarrelings. They've done char barrels. I actually got to try their bourbon done up in a French oak cask, and I regret not buying one. And now they're out. But I give them high props because they're actually keeping their age statements on there as best they can. And they're also barreling at a little bit higher ABVs than what we normally would see somebody do. Ooh, good pop. But this just came out. It was delayed originally, and then they finally brought it to the shelves. Some places are finding it. I ordered it from their website, and then shortly after, it was sold out. So I don't know how common this will be to find. Beautiful, rich, dark color on that. My, oh my. So, let's go for notes. Ooh, that is rich. Very much an MGP rye on the nose. There is some kind of interesting note. Little earthiness, an earthy sweet note. Which also reminds me of the peated barrel, because on the nose, you couldn't tell too much that something was really influencing it. But you get a lot of great, simple rye notes with that little bit of floral, the medicinal, the herbal showing up in here. The herbal is really nice. The rye spice is showing up, a little sweetness going on from that. And there's a bit of tartness in there, almost like a green apple tartness. Maybe a little bit of orange peel, like a freshly zested orange. No ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. But on the nose, I couldn't tell you much on the tobacco smoked barrel, because it just brings across maybe a light earthy sweetness, but just barely. But honestly, it's still a great nose. So let's go for a taste. Whoa! Hold up, pump the brakes. Holy crap. Buzzard's Roost, that is rich. Rich, 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 but beautiful. Holy crap. That ride of notes, and it's still going. So, I'm going to try to wrap my head around this before I take another sip. It starts off typical MGP rye, getting a bit of the herbal, medicinal, floral that we were getting on the nose, a little sweetness in there, and then you get this out of, almost like you've been T-boned by a car, kind of deep, rich oiliness. And it comes across very much like a cigar lounge where you're getting these beautiful earthy notes of tobacco and like the inside of a humidor. Like it's just, that is so mind-blowingly good. I was just getting ready to record my top 5 ryes of the year, like right as soon as I was done with this. I'm in trouble. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try to break it down as we take a sip here. So it starts off herbal, medicinal, floral, and then it swells with the cigar influence. Very, almost, the closest thing I could say, it's almost like it's been finished in like deep, heavy port casks, because it's so rich. Not necessarily the fruity side of port, but the richness of a port cask. The earthy tobacco notes are there. The rye plays so well with that barrel. And even here in the finish, it's like the lingering effect of a cigar next to you. It's a little, I'm not going to say smoky, but it's an earthy smoke. So it's not like it's peated or anything like that. Don't let that scare you here. But it's earthy and sweet and inviting. It's almost seductive, like a cigar lounge. Oh my. I was not expecting that. Like, I heard people talking about that, like, this is a bottle to get. This is a bottle to get and to get a backup of. The proof point's beautiful on there. It's not too bitey or strong or off. The age statement is very on point. Could have been a little older, maybe 4 to 5 would have been a little bit more solid. But again, we know it's at least 3 years old, so it could have been older. But how rich this is, I love it. I love that bottle. Come on. I'm kind of worried on putting water in here because I'm afraid on if it's going to break up things in a negative light. I don't know. But for the sake of science, we shall find out. That is 100% a cigar lounge in a bottle. In such a beautiful way. All right, let's go for notes on the water version. Very similar, if anything, maybe just dialed back about 10 or 20%. Still getting that kind of earthy, dilly, herbal medicinal rye. Sweet characteristics are still there. Getting a bit of the orange zest, little Granny Smith tartness in there. Everything like that, still there. So, let's go for a taste. It goes a little bitter, but you're getting almost like a chocolate in there now. Almost like a malty chocolate note. Definitely not as complex as the neat version, I'll be honest. And that's no argument against the whiskey. Don't think that the water takes away from any of my judgments on this. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. As well, nowhere near the neat version, however. That's phenomenal. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. I was able to order this directly from their website for 75 bucks. And I actually checked the Total Wine that's down there in Kentucky, and they're selling it for about that same price. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I've never had a rye whiskey taste anything like this bottle. It's sweet, earthy. Those tobacco notes are just so unique in this bottle. It's phenomenal. Again, I want to go out and buy a backup bottle of this because it is unlike anything I'm even trying to think if I've had anything that tasted like this. And I can't. Beautiful proof point. Great age on here. The process is where that extra cost comes from. And I gotta say, it's not a gimmick. It does exactly what they needed it to do in that barrel. Bravo on this one. That is phenomenal. I love it. So, there you have it, folks. Buzzard's Roost Cigar Rye Straight Rye Whiskey. If you have any question about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, I even like it might not.